Scrolling through social media, that's progress. Choosing discipline over excuses, that's progress. And while these actions might seem small in the moment, when you repeat them day after day, they start stacking up. Most people never see success because they underestimate the power of consistency. They start something new, but when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They work hard for a week, but when nothing changes, they go back to old habits. What they don't realize is that real success is built through repetition. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when no one is watching. Because the truth is, the results don't show up right away, but that doesn't mean they aren't coming. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, and give it time. At first, it looks like nothing is happening, but underneath the surface, the roots are growing, strengthening, preparing for the moment when they'll break through the ground. That's exactly how success works. Every time you take a small step toward your goal, you're strengthening your foundation. You might not see the results immediately, but if you stay consistent, they will come. The problem is most people give up too soon. They get frustrated when they don't see instant progress. They convince themselves that their efforts aren't making a difference, but the truth is, everything you do adds up. If you're constantly learning, growing, and improving, even in small ways, you're setting yourself up for success. The people who achieve their dreams aren't the ones who made one big move. They're the ones who kept going when no one else did. And here's what's even more powerful. Once you start seeing results, momentum kicks in. When you build one good habit, it leads to another. When you start making progress, it motivates you to keep going. Success breeds success. But it all starts with those small daily choices. This is why it's so important to be intentional with your habits. The things you do every day matter more than you think. If you want to be healthier, it's not about one intense workout. It's about moving your body every day. If you want to be more successful, it's not about one big career move. It's about continuously learning and improving your skills. If you want to be more confident, it's not about waiting for external validation. It's about proving to yourself through consistent action that you're capable. The best part? You don't have to wait to start. You don't need perfect conditions, and you don't need anyone's permission. You just need to commit to doing something, no matter how small, every day, that moves you closer to your goal. And if you stay consistent, if you trust the process and keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening, you'll wake up one day and realize that everything has changed. That's the power of the compound effect of self-improvement. It's not about making one big move. It's about making small, smart choices every single day. Because when you do that, success isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Confidence doesn't come from seeking approval. It doesn't come from likes, comments, or compliments. It doesn't come from waiting for someone else to tell you that you're good enough. Confidence comes from action, from proving to yourself through your own effort that you are capable. The more you take action for yourself, the less validation you need from others. Most people think confidence is something you're either born with or without, but that's not true. Confidence is something you build. It's a skill, just like anything else. And just like any skill, the only way to develop it is through practice. You don't become confident by thinking about doing something. You become confident by doing it, by putting yourself out there, by facing challenges head on, even when you're scared. Here's the truth. If you constantly wait for approval before making a move, you'll never do anything worthwhile. Because the reality is, not everyone is going to support you. Not everyone is going to understand your journey. And if you let that stop you, you'll stay stuck. You'll hold back. You'll shrink yourself to fit into a version of life that feels safe but isn't fulfilling. Think about the most confident people you know. What do they have in common? It's not that they're fearless. It's not that they always know exactly what they're doing. It's that they trust themselves enough to take action, even when they're uncertain. They don't waste time waiting for permission. They don't sit around wondering what
How y'all
people
day
will
going?
think. They just go for it. And
I
because
forgot my
they take
bowl.
action, they build
I
proof.
found this in the trunk.
Proof that they can handle challenges. Proof that they can figure things out. Proof that they are capable. That's the secret. Confidence isn't about feeling ready. It's about taking action before you feel ready. Most people wait until they feel 100% prepared, but the problem is that moment never comes. There will always be doubts. There will always be unknowns, but if you let that hold you back, you'll never get started. The only way to become more confident is to start before you feel ready and trust that you'll figure it out along the way. And here's the kicker. Once you start taking action, your need for external validation starts to fade. When you prove to yourself that you're capable, you stop needing other people to tell you. You stop seeking approval because you've already given it to yourself. That's when real confidence is built, because it's not based on what others think. It's based on what you know to be true about yourself. This is why people who take risks, who step outside their comfort zones, who challenge themselves regularly, always seem more confident. It's not because they never experience doubt. It's because they've built up so much evidence of their own ability that doubt no longer has power over them. They've seen themselves succeed before, so they believe they can do it again. The best part? You don't need to be the most talented, the smartest, or the most experienced person in the room. You just need to be the person who is willing to take action. Because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. Every time you do something uncomfortable, every time you push yourself, every time you take a step forward despite fear, you are strengthening your confidence. So if you've been waiting for the perfect moment, stop. If you've been hesitating because you're afraid of judgment, let it go. If you've been looking for someone else to validate your dreams, realize that the only approval you need is your own. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the next step, even when you don't have all the answers. And when you start living like that, when you stop waiting and start doing, everything changes. You realize that you don't need permission. You don't need validation. You just need to show up for yourself over and over again until confidence becomes second nature. And once that happens, nothing and no one can stop you. Patience and discipline are game changers. They are the difference between people who succeed and people who quit too soon. The truth is, most people never reach their goals. Not because they're not capable, not because they don't have potential, but because they don't have the patience to stick with the process. They expect results overnight. They want success to come fast and easy. And when it doesn't, they give up. But here's what they don't realize. Anything truly worthwhile takes time. Every successful person you admire, every person who has achieved something great, has one thing in common. They stayed disciplined even when things weren't going their way. They didn't quit when it got hard. They didn't walk away just because they weren't seeing instant results. They understood that real progress happens over time, and the only way to get there is through consistency. This is where most people go wrong. They start something with excitement, but as soon as they face obstacles, they doubt themselves. They convince themselves that if success isn't happening immediately, it must not be meant for them. But the truth is, the delay between your effort and your results is normal. It's part of the process. It's supposed to take time. And that's why patience matters. Think about a seed. You plant it in the soil, you water it, you give it sunlight, but for weeks, maybe even months, it looks like nothing is happening. But underneath the surface, growth is taking place. Roots are forming, the foundation is being built. And then one day the plant breaks through the ground. That's exactly how progress works. Just because you can't see the results yet doesn't mean they aren't coming. But most people don't make it that far. They quit before they ever see the breakthrough. This is why discipline is so important. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades, because let's be honest, there are going to be days when you don't feel like showing up. There are going to be days when you doubt yourself, when things feel like they aren't moving fast enough, when you wonder if it's even worth it. But discipline is about making the choice to keep going anyway. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work not because you feel motivated, but because you made a commitment to yourself. And here's the thing. Most people are searching for motivation, but what they really need is discipline. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. But discipline, that's what creates real success. It's waking up early. You'd rather...
Hello? Hello? Wrong number.
It's putting in the work when no one is watching. It's staying focused when distractions try to pull you away. And when you combine discipline with patience, that's when everything starts to fall into place. Because when you trust the process, when you understand that results don't happen overnight, you stop getting frustrated. You stop giving up too soon. You stop letting temporary obstacles make you doubt your long-term vision. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a week, but underestimate what they can achieve in a year. They get discouraged when they don't see immediate progress, but they fail to see how much they could accomplish if they just stayed consistent over time. The truth is, small disciplined actions repeated over time lead to massive results. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're questioning whether or not you're on the right path, ask yourself, are you giving it enough time? Are you staying disciplined even when it's hard? Are you showing up for yourself every single day, even when it feels like nothing is happening? Because if you are, then keep going. Your breakthrough is coming. The results will come, but only if you stay patient and disciplined enough to see it through. The people who succeed in life aren't always the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to give up. They're the ones who showed up consistently, day after day, trusting that their hard work would eventually pay off. And that's exactly what you need to do. Because if you can master patience and discipline, there is nothing that can stop you. Success doesn't require noise. It doesn't require validation. It doesn't require you to announce every move you're making. In fact, the most powerful thing you can do is stay silent and let your results speak for themselves. Too many people waste time talking about what they're going to do instead of actually doing it. They get caught up in proving themselves to others, seeking approval, waiting for applause. But the truth is, real success happens in the quiet moments. When no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when it's just you and the work. The problem with constantly talking about your plans is that it tricks your brain into feeling like you've already accomplished something. Studies have shown that when you announce your goals publicly, you get a hit of dopamine, the same chemical that's released when you actually achieve something. This creates a false sense of progress. You feel good, but you haven't actually done the work yet. That's why so many people talk a big game, but never follow through. They've already satisfied their need for validation before they've even put in the effort. But when you stay silent, when you focus on the work instead of the attention, that's when real progress happens. Because now, you're not wasting energy explaining yourself to others. You're not looking for permission. You're not waiting for anyone to validate your path. You're simply doing what needs to be done. And over time, that builds momentum. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't waste time announcing their every move. They don't feel the need to prove themselves with words. They just show up, put in the work, and let the results speak for themselves. That's the mindset you need to adopt. Because when you're truly focused on your growth, You don't have time to seek approval. You're too busy becoming the person you're meant to be. Another reason staying silent is so powerful is that it protects your energy. Every time you share your goals with the wrong people, you open yourself up to negativity, doubt, and criticism. Not everyone is going to support you. Not everyone is going to understand your vision. And if you're not careful, their opinions can plant seeds of doubt in your mind. That's why it's better to keep your goals to yourself and let your actions do the talking. When you stay quiet, you stay in control. You don't give other people the chance to interfere with your mindset. But this isn't just about staying silent. It's about pouring all of your energy into your own growth instead of being distracted by what others are doing. Too many people get caught up in comparison, constantly watching what others are achieving, measuring their progress against someone else's timeline. But the moment you shift your focus inward, everything changes. Because now, you're not trying to keep up with anyone. You're not chasing trends. You're simply becoming the best version of yourself. And here's the beautiful thing. When you stay focused on yourself, when you block out the noise, when you put in the work quietly, everything starts to fall into place. You start attracting the right opportunities. You start seeing real progress. You start feeling more confident, not because someone else told you you're good enough, but because you proved it to yourself. Success is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being the most consistent. It's about showing up every day, whether anyone is watching or not. It's about staying committed even when no one is clapping for you. Because when you do that, when you stop talking, stop explaining, and just focus on becoming, it's only a matter of time before the world notices. And by then, you won't have to say a word. Your success will speak for itself. Gentlemen, people treat you how you teach them to. That's the raw truth, and it's one most people don't want to hear, because it puts the responsibility squarely on your shoulders. But if you're serious about putting an end to being disrespected, this is where it starts. Not with them, not with what they said or didn't say, not with how your boss talks to you or how your partner rolls their eyes when you speak. It starts with you. Every time you stay silent when someone crosses a line, you're teaching them that line doesn't matter. Every time you laugh off a backhanded comment or let a toxic friend dump their negativity on you without pushing back, you're saying, this is okay with me. And the truth is, people are not mind readers. They're observers. They pick up on what you allow. They notice when you don't stand up for yourself. And slowly, without meaning to, they start to believe that maybe you're okay being treated that way. You're not. But here's the deal. Your actions speak way louder than your words. You can tell someone you don't like the way they talk to you, but if you keep coming back, if you keep entertaining the conversation, if you keep playing along, you're showing them that your boundaries are just suggestions, not rules. Think about any relationship where disrespect has become a pattern. It didn't start that way. Disrespect rarely shows up on day one. It creeps in. Someone makes a joke at your expense, you let it go. They interrupt you repeatedly, you stay quiet. They show up late, ignore your feelings, dismiss your concerns, and you make excuses for them. You do it because you're trying to keep the peace, or because you don't want to rock the boat, or maybe because you're hoping they'll just stop. But they don't. Why would they? You've taught them that you'll take it. Now, here's where the shift begins. You have to start retraining people on how to treat you. And that starts with retraining yourself. You have to raise your standards, not just in what you expect from others, but in what you expect from yourself. You've got to get clear on what's okay and what's not. And then, this is the hard part, you have to act on it every single time. You don't have to yell. You don't have to argue. You don't have to give a TED talk on boundaries. All you have to do is stop engaging with behavior that disrespects you. When someone talks down to you, you stop the conversation. When someone tries to manipulate you, you call it out or walk away. When someone keeps showing up with drama or disrespect, you stop giving them your energy. Period. This is where your power lives, in your choices, in what you tolerate, in what you reinforce. The people around you will learn very quickly that you're not available for disrespect, but only if you're consistent. The first time you hold a boundary, people might be surprised. They might push back. They might get defensive. That's okay. That's part of the process. You are no longer playing the same role in their life. And that shift
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
uncomfortable. But it's not your job to manage their discomfort. It's your job to protect your peace. You have to be willing to lose people who don't respect you in order to find the ones who do. And I know that's scary. I know the idea of walking away, of confronting someone,
I'm doing
of
good.
not being liked. It can feel overwhelming.
Tonight,
But
I'm
let me
going live.
ask
I
you
got a
this.
bottle that I'm opening.
How much longer
chunks.
are you willing to
That-
shrink yourself to avoid conflict?
Yeah.
How much more of your time and energy are you going to hand over to people who don't value you?
Maybe like
You are not here to be
7:30.
liked by everyone. You are
I'ma
here
get
to respect
home.
yourself so fiercely
I'ma
that
do
the
that.
only people who stick around are the ones who rise to meet your level. The ones who
I
see
need to
your
water my
strength,
flowers.
your values, your integrity,
And then,
treat you accordingly.
I'm
Respect isn't something you demand. It's something
I'm
you
gonna go live.
command.
Maybe like
By the way
7:30.
you show up, by the way you speak, by the way you carry yourself, and most of all, by what you allow. People will always test the line. That's human nature.
I think I'm gonna convert to.
Consistently show them that you
I ain't gonna say I
know
think.
your worth and you won't
I'm
settle.
converting into
They stop testing.
only
They
arrowroot.
step
So I'm gonna make another bottle
and
probably
step
tonight
out.
as well.
Either way
After I
you
break that
win.
bottle down.
Boundaries are not walls. They're not about shutting people out or cutting everyone off.
7:30.
They're about
If
protecting your
I don't
energy,
be on them by 7:30,
and your values.
definitely 8. But I'm aiming for
They're the
7:30.
rules you set
I think I can get everything I need done. I should be home at
interact with you, and you are the
do
only
a little
one
30-minute
responsible
workout.
for enforcing
I'm
it.
staying home and do a workout.
Think of boundaries like doors with
But I think I'm
locks.
converting
Not
into
everyone gets to
arrowroot.
walk in.
Only arrowroot.
Not everyone gets
So
access to
all
your
the starch that I have, I'm
your
gonna put it
thoughts,
in
your time, or your emotions.
chunks.
And just like with a locked door, you decide who gets a key. But too many of us leave that door wide open,
So
hoping people will be respectful, hoping they'll just
hopefully I
know
see you tonight.
what's okay and what's not. That's
I want to see how them chunks came out.
No one knows where your boundaries are unless you clearly set them, and even then, they'll test them. Not because they're bad people, but because human beings are wired to push limits.
Have you
That's
seen
why
Day?
your
I haven't
job
seen
is
Day.
not just to draw the line, but to hold the line. Every time. The problem is many people
Jim just came in my room the other day. I think
they think saying no is rude.
he came in and
That
left though.
distancing themselves from negative influences is selfish. That speaking up
I don't
for
think
their
I'm cooking that in
needs
the
is
night.
difficult. But
I don't have
setting
my
a boundary
kids.
is none of those things. It's an act of self-respect. It's saying, this is who I am. This is what matters to me. And this is how I expect to be treated.
No, it's no problem.
It's not about controlling others. It's about controlling
So I'm trying to like,
and here's something people don't tell
what
you.
am I trying to do? I'm trying to stay away from
Your lack of
the
boundaries
cornstarch,
are the ones
and I know
who
the
resist
cornstarch
the most.
make the sugar
They'll
level
call you too sensitive
look.
or say you've changed. Of course you
And
You've decided
I
you're available for disrespect, manipulation, and
was talking
one-sided
to
relationships.
Starchy the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, it'll look like you
And
got
growth is
diabetes or
uncomfortable,
pre-diabetes, something like
not
that."
just for you,
So
but for the people who have gotten used
before
to the
it
old
get there,
version of you. Let them
let's
be
make the
uncomfortable.
change because I'm trying
It's not your
to
job
change
to
my
fix.
food anyways,
Now
and
let's
arrowroot
talk
is like a
about what
detox,
healthy boundaries
so I
actually
think
look
that'd be
like.
better.
A boundary can
I'm
be
not
as
trying to
simple
gain
as
weight.
deciding not to
I
push
just
your
like the
work
texture.
emails after 7 p.m. It
I
can be
do.
choosing not to engage in
And I ain't gonna say
conversations that drain you or make you
if
feel
I'm riding or went to work, came the other day, like when it was yesterday or the day before yesterday.
These
ran out of the house and forgot my starch.
These are necessary.
Of course I'm gonna get some starch.
Because every time you reinforce a boundary,
But
I
no, it ain't causing a problem.
And listen, this doesn't mean you have to be cold,
But
distant, or confrontational. In fact, the most effective
hey,
boundaries are kind. You can say, I'm not comfortable with that, or I don't have the capacity for this conversation right now.
yeah,
You don't need a long explanation.
no.
You don't owe anyone a justification. A boundary
And
is
you know, I'm still gonna even chew me some starch. I'm sure chewing the red just now, but I'm gonna try to spend most of that. So let's see how this goes. And then and tapioca. That's what I'm gonna change to. Powder tapioca. So if I'm ever bagging or making a container, that's what it's gonna be. But yeah, 7:38, I will be on live. Promise. Oh, promise. That's a promise. Mm-hmm. How you been? How y'all been? How y'all been? But yeah, I'll be on live. I'm busting that ball down. I went and got me a blade. Hopefully the blade work. I haven't even busted the blade out of the pack.
Sleep over things that are outside of your control. You're no longer exhausted from managing everyone else's feelings. You're no longer shrinking yourself just to fit into someone else's comfort zone. You're standing tall, you're leading yourself, and most importantly, you're finally giving yourself the respect you deserve. When that happens, the world around you starts to reflect it back. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. And that's the power of boundaries. Confidence is not something you're born with, it's something you build. And the truth is, most people are waiting around for confidence to show up before they take action. But it doesn't work that way. Confidence isn't the cause of action.
Hopefully it's a good live.
You don't feel confident first and then speak up in the meeting. You speak up in the meeting, your voice shakes a little, and afterward you realize, wait, I survived that. That's how confidence grows. Too often we confuse confidence with being loud or extroverted or having all the answers. That's not confidence, that's performance. Real confidence is quieter. It's a knowing. It's showing up even when you feel scared, even when you doubt yourself, even when your hands are shaking and your heart is racing. Because you've made a decision that your voice matters, that your needs matter, that you matter. Confidence begins with self-respect. And self-respect is built on the decisions you make every single day, especially the ones no one sees. It's waking up and doing what you said you'd do.
Thank you.
It's taking care of your health. It's keeping your promises to yourself.
Thank you, thank you.
Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce the belief that you can trust yourself. And that trust, that's the root of real confidence. You can't feel good about yourself if you constantly abandon yourself.
Right.
If you let people walk all over you, if you silence your opinions, if you shrink to make others comfortable. Confidence can't grow in an environment where you keep betraying your own values just to be accepted. That's not confidence, that's survival. And eventually it drains you. The shift happens. Handle someone being disappointed in you and still feel strong in who you are. Confidence is built in those moments when you choose yourself over people pleasing, when you choose action over fear, when you choose courage over comfort. Let me be clear, confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to show up even when you don't. It's about trusting that whatever happens, you can figure it out. That even if you fail, you'll get back up. That even if it's messy, you'll learn. This mindset, this decision to act despite uncertainty, is how you train your brain to stop defaulting to self-doubt and start leaning into belief. And yes, confidence can be uncomfortable because it forces you to face your fears. It forces you to risk judgment. It forces you to stop hiding. But comfort is not the goal. Growth is. And you cannot grow if you keep choosing what feels safe over what makes you strong. The world doesn't give confidence to people who sit on the sidelines. It gives it to the ones who are willing to step into the game, get knocked down, and keep moving forward. You gain confidence by doing the hard things, by having the difficult conversation, by saying no, by showing up when it would be easier to disappear. Every one of those moments adds another brick to the foundation of your self-belief. And here's the best part, confidence is contagious. When you walk into a room with the energy of someone who knows their worth, not someone who's arrogant or fake, but someone who is grounded, clear, and unapologetic, it shifts the energy around you. People feel it, they respect it, and they respond to it, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you've stopped needing to. Confidence isn't about being the best, it's about being real, being present, owning your story.